Hello and welcome to Improv TV's second full episode that we've ever done. This is going to be on hosting and the second part of hosting, and what we're going to be focusing on now is once you've gotten your audience member up, you've applauded them onto the stage, you've created audience benevolence, and you've created that hero-champion audience relationship. In short form, which is what we're going to start focusing on now, we're going to start mining them for information, okay? So what we're going to be focusing on is just asking easy questions that they know the answer to and following the fun and the interesting stuff, okay? So let's just go ahead and get started and see what happens next. Oh yeah, this is going to be Drew Carey's Improvaganza. And he's already gotten a person and learned her name and used it as much as possible. He's going to do a lot of restating.
While I'm doing this, thank you very much. Valerie, have a seat on the stool. Let's talk to Valerie for a second. Valerie, where are you from?
Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. How you doing? And what do you do up in Portland?
So notice that all he did there was restate. How you doing? Where are you from? Portland, Oregon? Portland, Oregon. Giving them another opportunity, not a full opportunity. I think he could have even done more to maybe mine for an applause for the audience because they want to cheer her on. They got one woo because the audience wants to cheer them on, but probably not a lot of them could relate to Portland, Oregon. So just restating it and then asking a new question.
And what do you do up in Portland?
I'm a wine writer.
A wine writer? Oh, so you just sip wine and write about it?
I do.
Wow, how about that's an easy job. Is that your husband you're with right there?
Yes, and he's minding my wine.
And what is your...
Okay, so, you know, you're a wine writer. He just restates it, says a little something about it. Again, he's restating her answer so that A, he makes sure that everyone in the audience heard it because that's going to be something that he's taking, right? What do you do for a living? I'm a wine writer. Ooh, a wine writer. Oh, I'm sure that's a good blah, 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 right? And then he takes it, restates it so that everyone can hear it, so that the player hears it, and so that way when they use it, it's going to mean something. We want it to mean something.
What does your husband do for a living?
He's a programmer.
For Apple Computer Company? Oh, an independent programmer. Oh, do you write apps or something like that? What's your app all about?
Well, I'm actually trying to do stuff that helps my aged parents remember better because they're...
Oh, yeah, I heard enough. So you're a wine writer.
So apparently everyone in the audience could hear that. But I don't like that he didn't restate it. Again, if he had restated it, then we would have known that everyone in the audience would have known, because probably the fact that he said, you know, oh, I do this one thing, probably the players are going to use it. And for him not to say it aloud may not guarantee that everyone heard it. And so when there is a reference, you're dividing your audience and you want your audience to be together. You want everyone to laugh at the same time, everyone to stop laughing at the same time. You want them to become one animal. Yes, and that cannot happen if they have different information in their heads.
You're from Portland, and how long have you guys been married?
5 years. It's our anniversary.
Happy anniversary, and you're here in Las Vegas. Look at that. Was it the first marriage for both of you?
It's my third.
Your third marriage. Wow. Wow.
Okay, again, he said, oh, it's your anniversary? Happy anniversary! You know, why are you here? Big, open, broad stroke questions that are easy to answer. What are you doing here? I'm with my friends. Oh, I'm here, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's my friend's birthday. I'm just here on vacation. Any of those things would have been great, and no matter what he said, he'd been like, yay, vacation, woo! Whatever it was, wouldn't matter. That's what he would say. And then when something is interesting, he restates it again and points it out to everyone. That's your whole job.
I hope you did a prenup app.
Yeah, prenup app. We're going to sing a song about you. Well, I'm not going to sing a song about you. These guys are. Jonathan, Wayne, and Brad are going to sing a song about you. Let's see.
Okay, there's the promise. This is going to be the promise that's important. So every single short form is going to work like this. You have a promise. You fulfill the promise. You fulfill the promise again. You fulfill the promise again. And in short form, that's probably all you have to do. You just have to fulfill the promise. So this is the promise. We're going to sing about you and all the stuff you told about. and we're going to put it in a song. And these guys are going to do it. And he just set it up. Let's see what else he says.
What kind of style of song? Hey, you know what? Since we're in a theater and everything, and it's Vegas, let's do like a big like Broadway type number. Is that all right? You got a Broadway? Let's have a Broadway type number.
Okay, so they already started. Broadway song. It's going to be about you. They're going to be singing. And that's it. And if you can just nail all those promises, Broadway song, about her life, using all the things that she stated, they will win. All right? And then everything else on top of that will be for bonus. I think that's all we really need to cover. Asking big, easy to answer questions, restating what they say, being super nice to them and cheering them on whenever possible, and setting up the promise. And this will lead us into short form. So this is going to be setting up the promise is just these guys are going to do this thing, and it's going to use these suggestions, and that's the whole point. I could digress. I'm going to digress into whether or not it's important to take an audience suggestion. Now, some people do this and they think it's important to prove that it's improvised, and some people disagree. So Keith Johnstone is like, if it doesn't agree. A lot of American improv really, really does take it because they're like, how else will you know it's improv if it's not proven? I think especially in short form, I think it's a good idea to get started off because the audience really likes those suggestions. They have that feeling of empowerment. It makes it a lot easier for the improvisers actually to give them a good, easy focus. If you just take one word at the top of a whole long form, that's impressive, but that gives a lot of the heavy lifting to all of the improvisers. Whereas really the heavy lifting is already done. You've got, all the information you need to incorporate. You've got the genre. You're even having music in the background to set a tone. If you just do all that stuff, you're gonna win in the scene. So in a lot of ways, taking suggestions makes it easier for the players, which is why I think short form is so prevalent because it's easy to do and it's fun. So there is my digression about whether or not to take it, the pros and cons. It's probably harder to do, but it can be more repetitive because every single one is gonna be about whatever someone can tell you. And you're going to have more set up at the top of the scene and less to discover as you go. So that's probably why more experienced players like to do the long form, less suggestion-oriented work, and probably why newer players like doing that kind of stuff. And the audiences love it, and it's a successful form. So, I think it's a good idea if you can do it. And it's easier to do when you do because it gives you a nice, easy focus as long as the players make sure to do it and use it as much as humanly possible. Great. Well, that was the second series of hosting and beginning to get into short form. So I'll see you next time. This was Improv TV. I'm Phil Guerin. Phil Short. We'll decide. We'll see. Have a good one.